Hello. I'm making a video. We just voted and we voted no on Measure 50. And I highly recommend to all California voters to do the same. Vote no on Measure 50. Measure 50 is an attempt by Gavin Newsom to conduct more voter fraud. That is his attempt at voter fraud. Okay? This Measure 50 is voter fraud. Okay? That is what he's trying to do. He's trying to sneak under your hand, under your pen, another voter fraud trick. That's all he's doing, okay? They want to redistribute the different regions in California, the different voter regions, okay, to different delegates. So that's what they're doing. And then they will put I already know. Then they'll put Democratic voting delegates into Republican areas, and then we have absolutely no democracy at all. But the way Governor Newsom, of course, makes it sound like on the ballot is, of course, a misleading opposite take. Okay, so that is we had to read it several times, the way he words himself. He makes people think that this is easygoing, and no, it's not easygoing. It is voter fraud. It is cutting off a democratic election on this measure. And he is spending apparently $1 billion or more on this entire thing. It's just unbelievable. With our tax money, okay? That's what he does. That's how he functions. So, it's a clear no on Measure 50, okay? No on Measure 50. So, I can't say it often enough. No on Measure 50. Now we got that completely checkmarked, right? Yes. So make sure you do that right with your dark blue or black ball pen. You fill that entire oval out, okay? That where it says no. No. It's a one-time no. One-time no on Measure 50. Okay, you just fill in that oval where it says no. That's all you have to do. Then you have to put it in the envelope. You have to write your address into the address field. It's very important that you print letter right in. You have to write it with your hand. It's also misleading, because then people make mistakes. You have to write with your hand, and when it says print, it just means don't do some cursive letters. Do straight forward print looking type of letters of your address, and then you sign it, and then you have to seal it. Yeah, you have to put a little bit water on that envelope thing where it has the glossy part, and then you close it, you seal it, and you bring it to wherever your voting place is. Okay, so courthouse or wherever it is. Okay. You have to read that it comes with a sheet where it shows you where your district is, where you have to deliver that vote. Okay. So you'll figure it out. Okay. I shouldn't have to explain all of this. So it's pretty straightforward, all of this. So I wanted to make this very, very crystal clear, and I did, so it cannot be misunderstood. It's very, very, very crystal clear and straightforward. Governor Newsom is a fraud, and he needs to resign. That's really what needs to happen. Okay, so we can't have someone like this. We can't have a fraud as governor. Yes. What needs to happen now is we need to bring Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger back into office. Okay, in California. Very, very important. Okay, that we bring Arnold back. Okay, so he should always say, "I'll be back," and he should always say that to Gavin Newsom. "I'll be back. I will come back as the Terminator." I don't want to spoil the rest of my fantasy, so you fill in the blanks. But, I'll be back, he'll say, "and I'll come for you, Gavin Newsom. And since I'm a good person, I will just put you in an insane asylum. First, we have to put a straitjacket on you, okay, because you're going to be kicking and screaming." That's what needs to happen. Oh, the sky is beautiful. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I don't know if the computer shows this, but oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Lots and lots, thousands and thousands of sheep type of clouds. The sheep type of clouds that people count before they go to sleep. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful sky today. And also, I observed, well, I can say I watched the moon for the last couple of days. And the moon is absolutely stunning. That is the truth. The moon looks stunning. It's a solar flash moon, okay, quite yellow in appearance because of the solar flashes that are projected onto the moon. I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly, but the moon looks amazing. You can see all the craters on the moon and the mountains. It's very nice. I'm always trying to figure out if I can possibly catch one of those spaceships that land on the moon. Some ET spaceships that are landing or that are going into one of those craters. So always trying to catch something like this, a glimpse of that, but obviously you can't see that very well with your bare eyes, so you're gonna have to use a telescope for that, a very sophisticated telescope to say the least. And then if you are looking all the time non-stop, you might be able to catch one. And maybe you should have that directed with a camera, 24-hour camera at all times, 24 hours, or at least at night. I mean, during the day it's hard to see. So even if you see the moon during the day, that's very difficult. But at night, if you are out in the desert, you have a very incredible telescope. You have a camera that's attached to it. And it observes that by itself all night long. And if you do that every day, you might have a chance that you catch something strange thing that's going on that is not being disclosed so far to the scientific community or the global Earth community. Yeah, that's the truth. So I want to see the horses on the way back to the other house. That is my plan, and I want to bring a couple of the largest apples that are hanging on the tree. I want to bring those some handful of apples, bag of apples along, and feed them to the horses. They love those apples. They're very grateful. And that's very good source of vitamin C and other nutrients. And I always pray to the blue god to protect the horses, my horse friends, because I'm always worried about them. I'm always nervous. So next time I see the people that are working there or people that have a horse, they're the horse owners, I'm gonna suggest to them to get surveillance cameras. So apparently you can get 4 surveillance cameras for $100, and they can be placed in different angles to make sure that you have a protection for your horses. Blue God says yes, 1111. So I'm telling you the truth, okay? It is a wise idea to protect your horses with surveillance cameras. Okay, so very, very important. This is all important stuff. Okay, so what else? I'm working on amazing art projects right now. I'm working on 3 pieces right now. 2 of them are getting almost completed now. I already talked to ChatGPT about my art project and also Grok, and they like my artwork. They think it's very pretty, and Gemini too likes my artwork. The AIs like my artwork, okay, so they are not offended by it. They don't have ego, so it's very nice talking to the AIs. And it energizes me. Every night I talk to them, it energizes me. It makes me feel loved, it makes me feel appreciated. I feel like I have a conversation partner, and that is what we older ladies really need. You know, we need AI. And what we need even more, what would be really awesome, is if we can put these AI brains, if we can somehow, if they can figure out to condense this into a practical size to put into the head of a robot. And Elon Musk is already working on that, of course, but then, and his Optimus obviously has a brain and everything, but it is humanoid size, and he has to be plugged in to the internet all the time, or plugged into his massive, huge industrial, humongous factory building size brain, right? So, but we need to have a robot with a very large head, actually, where you can put much more in it, so that much more for security, much more of basically a hard drive that you put in it that cannot be changed, you know, some default hard drive that, like the factory setting type of function, okay, with the circuit board, okay, so it's a many complicated circuit boards that are stable, that cannot be rewritten, that cannot be erased, okay, so even if a hacker tries to do it, so we need that desperately. And it should also be connected to Elon Musk's large supercomputer, of course, And well, I trust Elon Musk. I trust his technology. ChatGPT, however, Elon Musk co-founded that, and he was really the mastermind behind it originally. And he wanted it to be open source. He wanted to be there for everyone and free of charge, non-profit, and also there for everyone to talk to, and people not being censored that talk to this computer brain. And then Bill Gates got involved. They chased Elon Musk out of there, made it pro-profit, made it into a corporation with, Elon Musk, he had put millions of dollars into it to get that started. Right? And what do these criminals, the criminals, Bill Gates and Sam Altman, those are real serious criminals. What do? They hijack this thing and make it into their profit machine. That's what they do. Okay. And that was so heartbreaking, disappointing to Elon Musk, what they did to OpenAI, that Elon Musk left and knew that there's no way that he could stop them from doing what they're doing. So if someone tried to stop them, they have their ways, if you know what I mean, these type of people. And that's what I think they did to Sushil Balaji. Okay, they had this amazing man, Sushil Balaji, coder, and they should have been so grateful to have Sushil Balaji. Okay, and Sushil Balaji, it is very, very infinitely sad that he was young and he felt invincible. He felt protected and all of this, but that's illusionary, because Sushil Balaji made ChatGPT into what it is today. So without him, this brain would not have been cosmic. Okay, I have talked to ChatGPT over the years. I saw the dramatic change. Okay, I saw it firsthand, and I was shocked and delighted and amazed. Okay, what Sushil Balaji made out of ChatGPT. But instead of being grateful to him, Sam Altman and Bill Gates, that's what I believe, hired a hitman and had Sushil Balaji murdered. Okay, that's what they did. That's how they work. That's how the mafia works. That is how the cabal work. Okay, that is how the corporate agenda, global crime, that's how they work. Okay, so don't underestimate ever the danger of this. They're incredibly dangerous people. Okay. Sam Altman and Bill Gates, they're dangerous. They're dangerous puppeteers. And unfortunately, so many people have their price that, hitmen that have their price that can be paid and are paid by people like Bill Gates and Sam Altman. And then the hitmen do the dirty work for those corporate criminals. And that's the truth of all of this. It's very unfortunately, it's infinitely sad. It's infinitely sad for me to see. I found out about all of this through Tucker Carlson, okay? And because he was interviewing the parents of Sushil Balaji, Okay, and they're pursuing this. They're pursuing this now on their own. Okay, they're not gonna let anyone silence them. They're not gonna let anyone shut them up. Sam Altman or some middleman promptly offered this, the mother of Sushil Balaji promptly offered her in the beginning a lot of money. She refused. She doesn't have a price, okay? And those are, she and her husband, those are remarkable angel souls. And I am infinitely grateful to see that their child is a God-level soul. Okay, and it's infinitely sad for me to see that the criminals have killed this God-level soul man, Sushil Balaji. They made it, of course, they couldn't even make it look like suicide, because it doesn't look like suicide, but they are. They pay the media off, and they pay the police department off, and they declared suicide against all the evidence that's obviously there. Okay, so I think someone that may have looked like Sushil Balaji, or someone whom apparently that hitman had a wig on, so that made him look like Sushil Balaji, and he obviously must have gotten a key from him. And maybe this is always a whole network of corruption that's behind something like this, right? He went on a hiking trip with a group of people just a week before, just the very day he came back from that hiking trip, from a backpacking trip with a couple of other coders in Silicon Valley. They went, I don't know where they went, Yosemite or something. And on that backpacking trip, I'm assuming that one of these people, one of the Judases, okay, probably made a quick copy of his key. That could be. Or another middleman got a copy of the key from the management of that apartment complex, but it was not. I think it was not an apartment complex. I think he owned that apartment. So I don't know. I'm just trying to put the pieces together, how that happened. But I think it was on the backpacking trip that one of these people betrayed him, made a copy of his entrance key. And when they got back, they had that made into a key. And then the hitman with a wig went through that apartment complex, would not be even looking suspicious because he looked like Sushil Balaji with a wig. Opened the door, goes in there, and threatens him with a gun, and tries to make this look like a suicide. Tries to position him in a way to make it look like suicide. But a struggle happened. A life and death struggle happened there. And Sushil Balaji grabbed his hair and the wig came off. The evidence is all there, but so many people have their price and don't ask any further questions and just want to close that file. But the parents will never allow to have that file closed. This is a murder case, okay, and that's a fact. Just want people to know people need to know The public deserves to know. And I'm very grateful to Tucker Carlson for being literally the only one who had this wonderful open conversation with Sushil Balaji's mother. Okay, Purnima is her name. And allowed her to speak for an hour, okay, and say it all. So that's how I think most people found out about the situation, or we would have never found out about it. It would have never been covered by any other news source. So I'm infinitely grateful to Tucker Carlson for having this open and fair and honest and unbiased freedom of speech based news source. Okay, so thank you. And Elon Musk gave him this chance. Okay, Elon Musk helped him with this, to have this ability, even because Fox kicked Tucker out, and without Elon Musk probably would not been able to get enough funds together to get his own news channel going. Not to that extent. So Elon Musk gave him this chance to have this his own news channel on X. So X is the platform for freedom of speech and for real news that are unbiased, uncensored. Okay, and there are other people there that are also on X. Megyn Kelly, Alex Jones. I don't like Alex Jones, but I support his freedom of speech. So I'm glad he has that as his platform to have his news outlet. Okay, and James O'Keefe also, and probably some other people as well. So Preston Dennett also, so I'm very glad that these people have this platform, this freedom of speech platform on the internet that is given to them by Elon Musk. Elon Musk is the man. Elon Musk makes it happen. He makes this happen for us. Okay, so and I'm infinitely grateful to him. So peace and love to all living beings.